Hi, I'm Dr. Greg Ellis. Boy, low-fat diets are really starting to take it on the chin, as they should. Here comes a piece in the email basket from the British online magazine called Mail Online. And the title is, Ditch the Diet. Low-fat foods can increase the risk of heart disease. So some other researchers are beginning to find out that low-fat diets, high carbohydrate diets, are a definite disease risk factor, even though we've been pursuing this line of thinking and reasoning now for more than 50 years. And it's not going to go away anytime soon, because most doctors still believe that fat's bad for us. And there's not enough voices talking about the dangers of the low-fat diet, high carbohydrate diet. But the doctor reporting in this article is, and pointing out the fact that it depresses our immune system, it weakens our arteries, and the part I really like is that she brings up the notion that the cholesterol is actually coming in to repair wounds in the blood vessel wall, in the artery wall, and it is. And I've spoken on that before and showed the research, talked about the research on the idea that cholesterol is doing repair work on the body, and it's not implicated in the disease at all, even though you find it in the blood vessel wall. That's how it got blamed. That's a real problem, and we've got to get away from that, and we've got to realize that meat is good for us. The other factor that she does not mention, or the paper doesn't mention, is the fact of glycation, which is the theme of one of my most recent books, The Glycation Factor. This is the idea that glucose, blood sugar, actually binds to the proteins that make up the body, and they form a glycated protein. And these glycated proteins link to one another, and you get glued together. You lose your elasticity throughout your body, in all your tissues, in your genetic material, in your brain, and underlying this is the cause of all the degenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis and many other diseases that are caused by this glycation process. So some people are actually catching on and beginning to understand this and are arguing about it and telling us that it's time to face the music. At the end of the article, they interviewed another doctor who talked about the implications of meat eating with colon cancer. And I've already blogged on this and shown how they came up with that data, and it's all bogus. It's simply not true. There's no relationship whatsoever. And if you go to my website at the bottom of the home page and read that article on what I call relative risk, you can get a good understanding of how these researchers are creating and using the statistics to get the analysis that they want, when in fact there is no relationship there at all. It's called relative risk analysis. Very important to understand that, and that most of the research you read about today is based on this concept, and it has no validity. And you really shouldn't pay any attention to any studies that are based on relative risk. So eat more meat. Eat more meat. That's the message here that we want to get. You've got to eat the meat. The meat also contains a substance called carnosine. And carnosine is very good at sucking up some of the glucose that would normally form a glycated protein, which is, as I said, damaging every part of your body. So we know that vegetarians have higher risk of getting heart disease. It's because of the carbohydrate. That's the story. That's the whole story. It's time to wake up and quit paying attention to the medical establishment, because they're feeding you nothing but nonsense. And if you want to get healthy, you've got to change what you're doing. You've got to change the way you're eating. You've got to get off this low-fat nonsense and control your body weight, and you'll become a lot healthier. I'm Dr. Greg Ellis.